Hi there, Serial Trader here. Let's check in with Weed, and that's WEED, trading in the Canadian markets. And it's also interlisted on the US over the counter markets as TWMJF for anyone that can't trade in the Canadian markets. So in the last video, I left off with favoring this being a wave 3 peak of some degree, and then that we were working this triangle wave 4, so an A down, B up, C down, D up appeared to be in place in the last video, and it certainly seems that it was. And then the expectation was that we were working this E wave to the downside, and ultimately it could go as deep as almost the extreme of the C wave, but it couldn't actually take it out. That was considered a important support level, especially for this wave interpretation to hold. So what I'd done in the meantime, while waiting, is I did a Fibonacci retracement just of this D wave from the C wave extreme to our D wave top, and I got the 50%, 61.8% is kind of my most likely targets, and we actually fell right into that range, and didn't quite nick the 61.8% retracement, and that was down there at well, the actual low was $27, right on the tick, $27, and it would have been 61.8% at 26.78, so that's quite close. And really, again, these Fibonacci retracements, you're looking more for a range than an exact number, although sometimes it does just about hit an exact number more often than you'd think it would almost. But anyways, and I was also entertaining that, we could go as deep as a 78.6, and then after that I'd start losing confidence that we're actually going to stop, because that's starting to get pretty deep. But no, we actually held quite nicely in that range, and that was nice to see. And then today, quite good confirmation of the E wave being in place at this point with this very strong day up. And if you look at down here, the volume, the volume was just dropping right off as that E wave was completing. And along with the volume dropping off, the actual intraday price ranges were getting quite tight from what they have been, and certainly what they can be in this regularly quite volatile stock. And now volume started picking up noticeably from at least the last 4 sessions. Actually, it's even higher than the last couple weeks, we'll say, just as a ballpark figure. So large up move, high volume, and you'll actually, and coming off that nice Fibonacci zone, all good things to see to try and enforce this wave count as being correct. And this BD trend line I have up here, and that's connecting the price extreme of the B wave and the D wave. It was nice to see that convincingly get through that upper trend line and close well above it. So this is still, despite being very strong today, this is still an early sign that this triangle may be complete, and this wave 4 may be in place now, and that we're now going to be looking for the next impulse wave to the upside. Now, to start reinforcing that and adding confidence to that, we got to take out that D wave extreme, and that would be at 31.46. So once it takes out the D wave extreme, now the probability shifts to being very high that we have a solid bottom in place, and that we're going to be working the next impulse wave inevitably up to new highs. New highs above that kind of $44 all-time high, okay? And at this point, if you are long, this $27 low, okay, that E-wave low, that is a stop. So just below that, $26.99, you should always put your stop just below level, because it's okay to touch the low, but you cannot exceed it. Okay, because that will actually change the trend. So if you're long, that's your stop, just below 27. And if you're looking to get long, at this point, I don't know if I would chase it. At this point, since you're close enough to actually getting that D-wave extreme getting taken out, you might as well just wait for it to actually confirm and at least increase the probability that you're right substantially. If you got in near the bottom, you should probably at least put your stop up to above break even. Why give back all these gains? There's just no reason to do that from a trade management standpoint, unless you're really, really long term and you don't care about 20% movements in something that maybe you're expecting to double or triple in the next number of months. Depends what your objective is on this particular trade. I know for me, most of my positions are October calls, and that's fairly long term. So now that I've seen some positive developments here, I'm willing to ride it out because I am anticipating, significantly more upside once this really gets going. And I also did just a little day trade today, and I saw that this was diverging from the broader market in a positive fashion, and that to me just added strength to its move. I mean, if it can have such a strong day while the broader markets are having a weak day, that's even more relative strength, as well as just the outright strength of this particular underlying. So what I did do is I just did a quick day trade, just a scalp, nothing spectacular, but it was an easy trade. Let's put it that way. The trend was just so clearly to the upside for most of the day. He just kind of jumped on the train and got off before it even started slowing down. Just made a quick buck, so to speak. And I like to do that sometimes if there's just an easy day trade waiting for you and you're not trying to call big top or bottom. You're just jumping on the train. That's some of the easiest trades you'll make. Anyways, though, not to go too far into that. If we go up here, just to have a rough idea of what we may expect. I'm expecting, to test that $50 mark at a minimum. High 40s, low 50s. Once this really gets going. All right. Hopefully that was a helpful update. Let's continue to watch how weed performs here. Serial Trader signing off.